In Nigeria, there was a special village called Ijebu-Ode. It was a mix of old and new. Mud huts stood beside small shops, and streetlights lit up the roads. The village smelled like fresh bread, flowers, and spices from the market. Everyone knew each other, and life seemed peaceful. A boy named Chidi lived there. He was only 12 years old, but loved asking questions about everything. His mother, Ngozi, always warned him, "The world isn't as safe as it looks, Chidi. Not all that glitters is gold." One evening, just as the sun was setting, Chidi heard the happy jingle of Mr. Ade's ice cream cart. Mr. Ade was popular in the village. He sold colorful ice cream with unique flavors no one else had. The children loved him, but some adults seemed unsure of him. Chidi had never tried Mr. Ade's ice cream before, but tonight he felt curious. "Good evening, Chidi." Mr. Ade greeted him with a big smile. "Want to try something special today?" Chidi hesitated. "I'm not sure. My mother told me to be careful." Mr. Ade chuckled. "This is just ice cream, Chidi. A small treat won't hurt." He handed Chidi a cone of blue ice cream that shimmered in the fading sunlight. Unable to resist, Chidi took a lick. The flavor was unlike anything he'd tasted before, sweet and strange. Suddenly, he felt dizzy. The village around him began to spin, and before he knew it, everything went black. When Chidi woke up, he wasn't in the village anymore. He was in a dark room with old pictures and strange symbols on the walls. The air smelled like vanilla, but also something sharp, like metal. "Hello?" Chidi called out, his voice shaky. Out of the shadows, Mr. Ade appeared, but now his smile looked scary, and his eyes gleamed in the dim light. "Welcome, Chidi," he said, his voice cold. "You've entered my world now." Chidi's stomach sank. "What do you mean? Where am I?" "This is where I keep my treasures," Mr. Ade said, pointing at the pictures on the wall. Chidi squinted at them and gasped. They were pictures of children who had disappeared from the village. Their eyes were blank, and their smiles looked frozen. "You took them," Chidi whispered, stepping back. "They're not gone," Mr. Ade replied, smiling darkly. "They're part of me now. You will be too." Chidi's heart pounded. He had to get out. He ran down a hallway, but the walls seemed to move and twist like they were alive. No matter where he turned, it felt like he was going deeper into the darkness. A glimmer of hope. Finally, Chidi saw a faint light coming from a door that was slightly open. He pushed it and found himself in a large room glowing with an eerie light. In the center of the room was a giant mirror, its surface swirling like water. When Chidi looked into the mirror, he froze. The reflection showed him, but not as he was. This version of him had hollow eyes and a crooked smile. The reflection stepped closer, its hand reaching out of the glass. "No!" Chidi shouted. He stumbled backward, but the reflection kept coming. He remembered something his mother once said about mirrors. Sometimes they're more than they seem. They can trap you or set you free. Desperate, Chidi grabbed a sharp piece of glass from the floor and threw it at the mirror. The mirror shattered with a loud crash, and a blinding light filled the room. When the light faded, Chidi was back in the village. The sun was setting, and everything looked normal. People were walking around, laughing and chatting. The jingle of Mr. Ade's ice cream cart played cheerfully in the distance. Chidi blinked, unsure if it had all been a dream. But when he looked down, he saw a small, blue ice cream cone on the ground. It was melting, its shimmer fading. As Chidi bent to pick it up, a cold whisper tickled his ear. "You can never truly escape." Chidi dropped the cone and ran home, his heart racing. He didn't stop running until he was in his mother's arms. From that day on, Chidi never went near Mr. Ade's cart again. But sometimes late at night, he would hear the jingle in the distance and shiver, wondering if Mr. Ade was still out there, waiting for his next special customer. Conclusion. The story of Mr. Ade became a whispered warning in Ijebu-Ode. Parents reminded their children to be careful, and Chidi grew up with a deeper understanding of his mother's words. Not all that glitters is gold. But deep down, Chidi knew the truth. Mr. Ade wasn't gone. He was still watching, still waiting, and the blue ice cream was his trap, shimmering with promises of adventure but hiding a darkness that never let go.